Episode 3 of The White Lotus. Season 3 lays the groundwork for an inevitable eruption of chaos. While it may seem like a slow-burning setup, the tension is simmering beneath the surface, with each character moving closer to their breaking point. Dreams, subconscious warnings, and hidden motives are taking center stage, hinting at the bloodshed to come. Victoria's dream and the Ratliff family's looming doom. The episode opens with Victoria Ratliff Parker Posey, standing on a beach staring at the horizon as a massive tsunami builds. Her son Lachlan, Sam Nivola, eerily states, "This is what it looks like before a tsunami." Behind them stands their North Carolina mansion, out of place. Instead of running, Victoria calmly walks into the wave before jolting awake. This dream isn't just a nightmare, it's a warning. Tim Ratliff, Jason Isaacs, is scrambling to contain a financial disaster, but it's only a matter of time before his world collapses. The FBI has raided his office. His assistant is frantically trying to reach him, and his son Saxon, Patrick Schwarzenegger, is receiving urgent calls demanding that Tim call back. His desperate attempt to buy time? Forcing his family to surrender their phone to the resort's wellness staff. He thinks cutting off communication will keep his secret safe, but he's only delaying the inevitable. Meanwhile, Piper, Sarah Catherine Hook, senses the instability and starts looking for an escape, inquiring about a year-long program at a Buddhist temple. By the episode's end, Tim secretly takes a sleeping pill, then denies it when Victoria asks, "Is something going on?" He stays silent, but her dream wasn't just a dream, it was a prophecy. Rick's search for revenge in the snake farm incident. Rick is not just another guest at the White Lotus. His father's murder is directly tied to Jim Hollinger, the missing husband of Sritala, and this episode makes it crystal clear. Rick isn't here to relax, he's here for revenge. In another tense meditation session, Amrita tells him, "Underneath anger, there's always a sadness, something we are grieving." Rick's response is chilling. "I've done a lot of bad things. Trust me."
You know, because he was murdered. Maybe I can still get some satisfaction.
Rick isn't looking for closure, he's hunting for justice. And if Hollinger's in Bangkok, he may not be alive much longer. Later, Rick takes Chelsea to a snake farm while high on bad weed. The caged cobras seem to mirror his own emotions, trapped, enraged, and ready to strike. In a reckless moment, he starts freeing the snakes, but his impulsiveness leads to disaster. Chelsea gets bitten. As she recovers, she issues an eerie warning. "If you kill me, I'll follow you into the next life. You'll never get rid of me." It might sound like a joke, but in The White Lotus, nothing is just a joke. Greg is definitely about to kill again. Greg, now going by Gary, is terrible at keeping his past buried. His lover Chloe unknowingly spreads his lies, telling Chelsea, he had an ex-wife, but she was a real mental patient. One day she just walked into the ocean and never came back. All they found was a part of her leg. But we know the truth. Tanya didn't just disappear, she was murdered. And Greg was the mastermind. Now someone recognizes him. At dinner, Belinda walks up to Greg's table, staring at him. "Do I know you? I work at the White Lotus in Maui, and I'm pretty sure I met you there." Greg tenses. He quickly denies everything, but Belinda isn't convinced. "Well, he must have a doppelganger then, because I swear you look just like this man I met in Maui." Later that night, Belinda hears something outside her room. A shadow lingers. Greg has already killed once. If Belinda starts digging into his past, she might not live long enough to expose the truth. Gaitak's breaking point? Up until now, Gaitak, Taimathap Thong, has been the cheerful, smiley hotel worker who keeps his head down. But this episode changes something. Mocked and belittled by Sritala's bodyguards, Gaitak is made to feel small, useless. He offers to step up as a bodyguard himself, but they laugh at him. That kind of humiliation doesn't just disappear, something is brewing inside Gaitak. He's been kind, he's been overlooked, but people like that don't stay harmless forever. If the power shifts at the White Lotus, Gaitak might be the one person no one sees coming. Jacqueline, Kate, and Lori, the politics of betrayal. This trio has been slow burning, but episode 3 sets the stage for a serious fallout. At dinner, Jacqueline, Michelle Monaghan, and Lori, Carrie Coon, joke about politics until the mood shifts. They ask Kate, Leslie Bibb, if she's a Republican. She hesitates. I'm an independent. But when pressed further, she dodges. Are we really going to talk about Trump tonight? Later that night, Kate overhears Jacqueline and Lori talking about her behind her back. The betrayal hits hard. She was always part of the gossip, but now she's the target. This group is crumbling, and by the time the season ends, someone might be completely cut out. Final thoughts and what's next? Tim's downfall is happening fast. The FBI is closing in, and his family is beginning to suspect something is very wrong. Rick is out for blood. His father's murder is definitely tied to Jim Hollinger, and Rick is not leaving Thailand without answers or revenge. Greg is about to strike again. He silenced Tanya. If Belinda pushes too far, she won't be safe. Guy Talk is reaching a breaking point. He's been laughed at and underestimated, but that's about to change. The resort is no longer safe. The pieces are in place. A murder is coming. The only question is, who dies first? Episode 3 was the calm before the storm. But at the White Lotus, calm never lasts long.